informative sex education program Sexplosion is on every Thursday from 7 to 9 p.m. and Fridays from 9 p.m. to midnight with Dr. Raj the guru of sex in the Caribbean.
A lot of times we think
we are a little late, but I know.
Totally below the waist. It is not below the waist. It starts in the brain. The largest sex organ that you possess is your brain.
Tune in for discussion on all sexual matters. Sexplosion on Power 102. Empowering you.
I think our box away.
Power 102. Empowering you. Sexplosion is on Power 102. And now on new days and at new times. The country's most informative sex education program, Sexplosion, is on every Thursday from 7 to 9 p.m. and Fridays from 9 p.m. to midnight with Dr. Raj the guru of sex in the Caribbean.
A lot of times we think that sex is totally below the waist. It is not below the waist. It starts in the brain. The largest sex organ that you possess is your brain.
Tune in for discussion on all sexual matters.
I just want to make sure that's
Sexplosion on Power 102. Empowering
Come in, eh?
you.
You ready then? Or?
Long time.
Well, thank you for staying here with us on Power 102.1 FM, and a very special good evening to you. Special thanks as always to Mac Daddy. Also a very special thanks to Skippy and Richard Norrie, kicking off our afternoon into evening programming here on Power 102 FM. Well, taking the time 10 minutes after 7 o'clock, and we do welcome you to Sexplosion with the only sexologist in the Caribbean, Dr. Raj of Total Image and the Adult Therapy Center, which is located in St. Augustine, where he do treats all sexual dysfunctions in both male and female. And a very special good evening to you, my good friend, my family. How are you today?
Pleasant good evening to you. A pleasant good evening to all the listeners, viewers out there, those of you on social media, those of you on our website, those of you on our app, and of course, those of you on radio. Theater of the Mind.
Yes, the theater
place
of the
where
mind.
people can hear Junior's voice. They don't see his face because he has the face for radio. Somebody told me today, they say, Junior's voice don't match how he looks. I said, that is so true.
Yeah.
That is so true. I don't know if they mean it in a good way or a bad way. No, the person said they meant it in a good way.
No, this is what
The
I was
person
about to-
said they meant it in a good way. So it was because, you know, I wouldn't allow anybody to say anything ill of you. I'm the only person who could do that.
No,
I'm the
of
only
course
person
not.
who can
You are
talk
the
here.
only- you are the only
Nobody
person.
else have that right.
No, nobody
Okay.
else.
Once they know that, I'm okay with that. So I hope that you have sent out rebroadcasts, my broadcasts. Sorry for the typo, but sometimes when you type it quickly and try to get things out, you really don't pay attention to these things. I didn't even put the radio station, but that's okay. People should know by now. I don't have to tell people I'm on Power 102, do I?
No, you no.
No, I don't think so.
No.
I think if I have to tell anyone I'm on Power 102, they shouldn't be listening to the program.
No, they should not.
No, come on, man. Power 102 is Raj. Raj is Power 102.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Until somebody decides otherwise, but that's how I know it.
But this is how it is. All
That's
this
the
is
way
what
I
it's
know
all
it.
about.
So, folks, I don't have to tell you all that. I've been here for going on 19 years now, and
This is a matter of fact,
it's
this,
great.
Yes, this is 19 years.
Yeah, our 19th year. We
Just
in our
was-
19th year. As a matter of fact, we started our 19th year Monday.
Yes, on Monday. Yeah.
So, congratulations, Junior. We're doing well.
Is in order?
Yes, we're doing well. But what I wanted to talk about tonight, and it's a very important thing. You know, for years I've been saying, people think our penis and our vagina and our breast is our sexual organ. And for years I've been telling the listeners that the two largest sex organs we have, the largest in terms of mass is our skin, and the largest in terms of capacity and what it is capable of doing is our brain. And we don't pay attention to that. we don't pay attention to the fact that our skin and our brain are sexual organs. We think that, as a matter of fact, some people don't take care of their skin.
No,
They think their
no,
skin
no.
is just a covering, and maybe to them it is. But your skin is such an essential part of your body. Without it, you die.
Can't
The
survive.
skin is a living, breathing organ, you know. It's an organ that does things, many things. Keeps you cool, gets rid of toxins, it breathes, it absorbs. You have layers in the skin. I mean, it's very important, but we don't look at it as a sexual organ. That's why some people would say that vitamin E is the sex vitamin. But vitamin E is also very important, or vitamin E is very important for your skin. So think about it that way. Vitamin E is very important for your skin, and your skin is your largest sex organ in terms of mass. So what are you doing when you talk about a woman? You look at her beauty with her face. What do you think you're seeing? You don't see the muscle and the fat underneath. You see the skin.
Of course.
That's what you're seeing. The beauty is in the skin. If she has bags under the eyes because she hasn't slept for a couple of days or worries or whatever, you see that immediately, and it takes away, it flaws her beauty. There are women with hormonal imbalance that has dark spots under their eyes, or
yes.
dark pigmentation under their eyes or their cheeks. And you say that it flaws their beauty. Some women have a nice mole on their skin.
Yeah.
And you say, wow, boy, look how sexy that mole looking. And it does. It highlights the beauty. As a matter of fact, I know women who will take a kajal stick and put a mole, put somewhere on their body, because they want the attention drawn to their face. But it's the skin that you're looking at. You're looking at nothing but the skin. And you don't see the nervous system underneath the skin. You don't see the circulatory system under the skin, but the skin is part of that, but it's not really under the skin, it's within the skin.
Okay.
The nerves don't end underneath the skin. It ends at the very top layer of the skin. That's why you feel a scratch and a scrape, and somebody run their fingernails over your back, you'll feel it, you'll cringe.
you kind of
God,
wrench.
what do you hear in the back
Yes.
of your neck? Stand up. Those are the things that happen to you when you have skin. So you have to take care of your skin. The elasticity in your skin is also very important. If your skin is dry and flaky and cracky, what happens? It cracks. You get cuts. So you have to make sure that it is supple. You have to make sure that there is circulation. You have to make sure that it is breathing in a particular way and it could stretch. So you have to put cream on your skin and oil your skin, and from the inside out and from the outside in.
Always keep it moist.
Always. That's why we take a bath, because you have a lot of dead layers on our skin that we have to get rid of. Cells die all the time. Cells rejuvenate. You sweat. Dust sticks on your skin. So you have to take care of your skin. Your skin is very important. As a matter of fact, I was looking at a movie recently, and a woman was describing the different senses in the body, and then she started talking about the sense of taste.
Taste.
And she said, when you run your tongue from the tip of my neck all the way down to my buttocks and in between my legs, the sensation I get, but I could imagine the sensation you get with the taste.
Yeah, well, yeah, but
And the guy was that salty, sweet taste that I can do without.
salty.
That I cannot do without, sorry. No, that's sweat is salty.
Yes, it is.
You get that salty, sweet taste that when you taste it, you don't want to do without that.
No, and you cannot get that in the supermarket.
No,
when
you can't buy that in no supermarket. You can't buy no ponga saltfish and get that taste.
That's a special taste, as a matter of fact.
No, you can't. You can't. You know, no amount of salt on the seaside.
Yeah,
No amount of
yeah.
salt in the grocery could give you that taste.
no, that's a
because
special- that's a
because the
special taste.
body secretes that just enough. I know. Some women you meet them and they're sweaty and whatnot. They just don't work out, or even after having sex they want to go take a shower, and you want to hug and kiss and taste.
Oh yeah.
And you want to taste, and they're like, no, I'm sweaty.
No, as a
Hold
matter,
your tail and remain right there.
yeah, as a matter of fact, that is the excitement to the whole thing.
Right, my thing is
That taste.
keep your tail right there. I want to
Yeah,
taste that.
yeah. I like
Are you going to bathe now?
So anyway, what we're going to do? We're
You
gonna
take a break. Okay, go and oil your skin on.
Yes, as a matter of fact, I am.
heal. Power 102, in collaboration with the NCRHA, presents The Calm Project, a 13-week series dealing with children and adolescents living with mental illness. Calm. Every Tuesday at 2 p.m. with our featured speakers, Dr. Asher Pemberton, consultant in pediatrics and adolescent health, and Miss Renee Pilgrim, cluster manager at the NCRHA. The Calm Project. A part of Healthy Living with Stanley Augustus, sponsored by Guardian Life of the Caribbean and the Office of the Prime Minister. Only on Power 102, empowering you. The Calm Project.
I'm Lester Sudlow, inviting you to join me every Tuesday and Thursday, 10 p.m. to 11 p.m. for the program Slow Gospel Music, a program designed to soothe your mind and uplift your spirit here on Power 102.1 FM, Power 102.1 FM.
Before you act, think twice.
Think twice.
Think clean. Go green. For environmental awareness.
Power 102 FM
And Boom 94 FM continue to champion responsible
My big
action
brother.
for life, safety, and now a cleaner environment.
Our planet is what we make of it, so let's make the right choices.
The choice to reduce, to reuse, to recycle,
To conserve, to preserve.
to responsibly dispose, and to being more mindful of how we impact the world around us for this generation and those still to come.
Join us for daily tips on how you can get involved at home, at work, and in your communities.
Encourage your neighbors, colleagues, and family as well. Help change the culture and behaviors for a greener, more environmentally conscious TNT.
Think twice
Think twice.
for environmental awareness.
Brought to you by Swimco, the Trinidad and Tobago Solid Waste Management Company Limited.
Power 102 FM and Boom 94 in association with the Gillard Group of Companies.
Bush Mountain TT, Salo Enterprises, and the Price Club Supermarket. Think twice
Think twice.
for a cleaner, greener Trinidad and Tobago.
I want to tell you that there's always more to explore in sex education when you are on the inside of Sexplosion on Power 2.1 FM. The guru of sex education, Dr. Raj Randanan of Total Image and the Adult Therapy Center, which is located in St. Augustine. Now, here's where we give you the opportunity to interact with Dr. Raj live here in studio. All you've got to do is give him a call at 222-8255, also at 612-8255. May I remind you that this program may contain material that is not suitable for children. Parental guidance are therefore advised. Yeah.
Hadassah, you can ask me that question on my cell phone, 7401961, 7401961, and I'll respond to you with that. Good evening to Neil, Renuka. Renuka, if you're still on, send me a message on my cell phone. You can send me a message on WhatsApp. Helen, Camille, Asif, Ashmead, Amit, Arlene, Lynette, Sunita, Cynthia, Anna, Kevin, Oliver, Darren, Dolly, Alicia, Ronald, my good friend, Kevin, Dolly, Oliver, okay, Anne-Marie, Sandy, Talia, Roger Stevens, Nairun, Margaret. We have a nice crowd building up here, boy. And the sexy Salisha, how are you, my darling?
She's sexy?
Of course. Very sexy.
Huh?
You would not believe how sexy. And of course, my darling Petra, Deborah, Anissa, to the crew that is looking on from I think there's a Dr. Raj DB crew also.
DB crew.
A DB crew. That has to do with the clinic in DB.
Oh, so they are locked on as well, right?
Well, yes. So, we're talking about those two organs that we have and how well we take care of it, if we do take care of it.
Okay,
do we take care of
put
it?
a hold on that because we've got a call
Stick up
coming in. Yeah. Hello and welcome to Sexplosion. Good evening. Hello, good evening. And it's very difficult hearing you. I don't know if you're in a position that you're not getting through clear enough. So, no,
Are you hearing him?
no, I'm not hearing him at all. Okay, would you like trying back to call again? Yeah.
Please do, because we want to hear you.
Yeah. Don't forget the numbers to interact with Dr. Raj, 222-8255, also at 612-8255. You're listening to Sexplosion on Power 102 FM, a program, station that's reliable, accurate, and of course, effective. Yo.
And don't forget to hit that like button, because if Prashant was here, he would have been saying that. Hit the like button and hit the heart button and whatever else button you want to hit, just hit it.
Yes, and as a matter of fact, hearts are more preferable.
My number is 7401961. That number again is 7401961. Very easy to remember.
Oh yes, the year I was born.
Yeah, the year Junior was born in his dreams. You know, all alone in his dreams.
Yeah.
So again, 7401961. So we were talking about those two organs that we possess. But what I want to get around to, and I need to know if Renuka is listening, because this is something that she asked me to do, and I'm going to touch on it tonight.
Okay, we're going to go back to
back to the lines.
Hello and welcome to Sexplosion. Good evening.
Hello?
Hello, good evening. Okay.
Person is not brave enough.
Yeah, as I was saying.
So that organ that we call the skin needs to be taken care of. It is what we interact with when we're making love. It's what we interact with, because, you know, it's becoming so ridiculous in the world now. I see a woman accuse the Vice President of the United States of touching her face and wiggling his nose on her nose, which is a greeting in some places.
Well, yeah.
Just now, you can't shake a person's hand, you know.
No,
It will get to that point, you know.
It is reaching that stage.
Yeah, a woman, if you go to a woman and you reach your hand out to shake her hand, she will say that's sexual harassment.
Yeah.
It's becoming really ridiculous. And you know, we are a follow fashion country. Whatever happens in the United States, we'll follow fashion. That here, somebody's going to say, yes, he was walking on the road and he winked his eye at me. That is sexual harassment. It's that ridiculous. And it will become that ridiculous.
Yeah.
Just now, you can't compliment a woman, or you can't open a door for a woman. She's going to say you harass her. And that's how ridiculous this world is becoming. But we'll see. And I'm telling you, it's heading there. I see it. I see it all the time. You have to be very careful what you say to a woman. You have to be very careful you're touching a woman. You know, everything is going to be a problem.
So in other words, things that you would have gotten away with.
It's not, you don't get away with it. Things that you could have done. Things you could have done before that was considered to be natural human touch and natural human behavior.
A normal thing.
You can't get away with it in the future, because they'll tell you have done something wrong. A simple thing as shaking hands.
Wow.
Because if you shake a woman's hand, you can say, well, he shook my hand and he squeezed a little too hard.
Yeah.
Or he shook my hand and his fingers caressed the back of my hands. It's that ridiculous. And there are women out there who are going to react to that. But that's how ridiculous this world is becoming. And it's becoming this way because of North America.
Okay. Yeah.
Because of North America. Because in America, you get away with real crap. Real crap. Because anybody wants to make money, you'd say something like that, you make money. Oh God, somebody's going to come and interview you, pay you money to appear on a show, and they get fame and fortune. That's what they do.
Okay.
But it's that ridiculous. But anyway, let's get back to the skin. So the skin is the beauty that you see. The skin is the beauty that you touch. The skin is the beauty that you taste. Skin is the beauty that you smell, because you release pheromones through your skin. That's how important that organ is. Without the skin, you cannot release that pheromones.
Yeah.
It's released through the skin. Doesn't matter what part of the skin, what matters is that's how it's released. So the pheromones that we release to attract the opposite sex, it comes out through the skin. The beauty that we see in a woman is the skin. The touch that we feel. Some women like to be touched in particular areas. Every single woman who's listening to this program tonight will tell you they have a weak spot. Oh God, don't touch me, I have a weak spot. Isn't that what they say?
Oh yes. Oh yeah.
Well, why are you telling me that's a weak spot? You want me to touch you there more? Why would you tell someone don't touch me on my weak spot?
But maybe.
Isn't that by instinct you're going to touch that? It's like telling somebody who's climbing up a tall building, don't look down. That's the first thing you do. As a young kid, when you're learning to climb trees and whatnot, they'll tell you don't look down, and you're like, hey, what you say?
Yes, they'll tell you that, yeah.
Hey, what you say? And they're looking down. It's obvious. Whatever they tell you not to do, that is what you're going to do. So it's natural human instinct. So you're telling me the beauty of a woman. A woman spends thousands of dollars on her skin. You know? Thousands. Thousands. It's one of the industries that makes so much money. So much money.
With all the different creams
All the
that they
different
have.
creams and lotions and powders and lipsticks and don't tell me the lip is not part of the skin. Every part of the body is the skin. Everything is covered with skin. Eyelashes and eyebrow and this and that and eyeshadow and you name it. We wear earrings to adorn the skin.
Yes, yes. Mm-hmm.
So we do all these things to adorn the skin. So that is what it is. You are going to want to highlight your body. You want to highlight your beauty. That's why I tell you, I know women, after watching these screen stars and whatnot, with a little mole here and a little mole there, they take up one of the kajal stick and they put in a mole.
One of those pencils.
Yeah, the pencil. They want to do any mascara stick. They're doing that. So it's what's needed. I see you watching our people there. You want me to stop?
No, I'm listening to you.
No. I thought you had something to read because when you started get studious like that, I get frightened. Thought I was in school if I'm in it.
You thought so, eh?
Yeah.
But that would have brought back some good memories.
My school days is always good days. Always good days. Yes, so I'm talking about these things. But that other organ that we have, which is called the brain, which we don't take care of. You know, we use supplements for our skin. We use supplements for our hair and nails and our, if we're tired, we take a supplement. But we really don't supplement our brain enough, you know. We don't. You know, long time they used to tell you eat the fish head, like brain food. Like the omega-3 fatty acids and whatnot that you're getting from that. Nuts is for the brain. Look at the brain, look at the shape of the brain, and look at the shape of certain fruits and nuts. And you will understand why these things are very important. It's important. Each one of them is important for you as a human being. Those particular grains and nuts and whatnot important to you. But how much of us pay attention to that?
No, we don't.
But you have persons who have had brain problems also, depression, serious depression, and depression or anything that affects the brain. There are some persons whose brain is weaker than others, just as how you have a muscle in your arm. And you can't throw the ball with any power. Or you can't throw a stick at a mango and lick it down. Like what we used to do as young kids, you know, pelt a mango at a mango and you pick a mango.
Oh, yeah.
And you have to be careful, you don't pelt the rock, you don't catch the rock mango, you have to catch the one that you pelt down.
I always used to catch the rotten one, I don't know. I used to misjudge.
Yes, to misjudge. Well, like because your eye to hand coordination was bad. But if you suck enough mango, it might have gotten good. Or eat some carrots.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes.
But we don't pay enough attention to these things. And there are lots of persons who have brain issues. And I'm not talking about mental issues yet. I'm talking about they have issues with their brain. They can't remember things and they don't do enough exercise of the brain to remember. They don't do enough exercise of the brain to keep the brain functioning properly. That's why I remember, this is a standard joke in our family. We had a small store. My grandfather started off on the side of the road selling belbagay. That was his nickname, belbagay. Where he was selling on his box, he had a long box in Sangre Grande. Opposite his box was the Kunapo Southern Main Road. That's the road that takes you from Sangre Grande all the way to Rio Claro. The Kunapo Southern Main Road. That's what it's called. So Sangre Grande is called Kunapo also.
Oh, okay.
And right where my grandfather had the box, a gentleman built a building there, Mr. Basanta. So he had to move for a little while. So he moved a little lower down the street. But when the gentleman built the building, he offered my grandfather a spot. The second spot on that building. Coming from the east. No, coming from the east. And he offered my grandfather that spot. And my grandfather took it. So my grandfather and my father had a store there. Small store. But next to us had a pharmacy called Harris Drug Store. So it was, there was 4 compartments in this building that he built. The first one was Naipaul's bookstore, Ramnanan Bargain Store, Harris Drug Store, and Sonny Boy Rum Shop. 4. So you see the combination.
No, that's a mini mall.
You see the combination. In those days, that was a mall. The street was a mall, you know. Long ago, the street was a mall. You walk down the street, you pop in here, you cross the street, you go and buy something, and that's how it was. Long story short, my father, now, if somebody comes into the store and they forgot what they came for, he'll say, go next door and ask them for the remembrance pill. No, there's no such thing. But he used to tell him that as a joke. So if they go by Mr. Harris, Mr. Patrick,
Yeah.
or Carl, his brother, they'll ask them for the remembrance pill, but there's no such thing. So it was a standard joke in the family. Many years after, I'm in Las Vegas, I met this wonderful old lady who had this product, wonderful product called EE, which is crazy talk about it, the crazy pill. People has called me and asked me for the crazy pill. They say, what is that pill that man uses? I said, it's called EE, erectile enhancer, EE. I just asked for EE. Right? So, that's the name of the pill. But many years after, I came home one day and said, Pa, guess what? You remember that pill you used to tell people to use? He said, what pill is that? I said, remembrance pill. He said, yeah. I said, you know, they have it now. They have that pill now. The same lady who makes the EE makes a pill. Well, it's a capsule actually called the brain sharpener. That is ideal for your brain. Mm-hmm. It sharpens your brain. It is one of the most wonderful products we have. Children who are going to write SEA or CXC or whatever they call it now, well, you know, every week it has changed. I don't know. What's the name? I know in my days was GC and Common Entrance.
Common Entrance.
Right.
Yeah,
that's why I know. GC and Common Entrance. If they change the name now, I'm sure they change the name now. And every week they will change it. So let me forget the name.
Yeah.
Anybody who wants to write an exam, I just tell them, they have the children brain sharpener, they have the adult brain sharpener. Mm-hmm. But it's a wonderful product for the brain. So women who have postpartum depression, which a lot of men don't understand, because you don't understand how a woman could bring a child into the world, but yet reject the love that you have for that child, or reject the husband, or goes into a state of depression where they don't even want to talk to anyone. They lock themselves in a room. You say, well, oh God, they're starving attention, or they're doing things for attention. But it is not that. It is the signals that are going to your brain and coming from your brain has been skewed, messed up for some reason. There are women who have gone through abuse, and because of the abuse, they don't feel good about themselves. And because they don't feel good about themselves, they can't feel good about anything else. So their brain is rewired. Depression is a serious issue in this country, you know. Not only in this country, but throughout the world. It's something that is misunderstood. So if you don't understand depression and the stages of depression and what a person goes through and the heartache that goes with that, and that person is battling with trying to keep their sanity, but at the same time, they have to deal with their husband, they have to deal with their children, they have to deal with their household work, which is a lot of work. They have to deal with their job. It's very difficult. So when you reach that stage where you are bombarded with all these different things, and you reach that stage of depression, and your husband don't understand you, and your family start putting pressure on you, and you don't have the support of these people, it gets worse. It doesn't get better.
It will get worse.
So we have a tendency to think that if somebody is doing that, they're doing that for attention and nothing really wrong with them. Give them 2 Panadol and they go feel good. That's how we think, you know. Mm-hmm. We look for a quick fix. We look for a paintbrush to paint everything over, and it makes things easy. And when you come from an environment where we don't understand mental health issues, and that's why when, the worst thing for somebody to say in parliament and whatnot is, you have so many persons with mental health issues. When you do that, what you're doing is you're doing a disservice to the people, you know. Why? We laugh at mental health issues. We do. We laugh at somebody who's mentally ill, and we don't try to understand why is that person mentally ill. Every evening when I leave my office, there's a young man who sits at the corner of one of the streets that I have to turn, and you could tell that he's mentally ill, and I sometimes want to stop and ask him, but then, I may be infringing on his rights also. I may be doing that. Sometimes he's not there for a period of time, and then he comes back and he sits on this one spot. Young man, but something is wrong, but I'm not laughing at the fact that he's mentally ill. I'm concerned why he's mentally low. What have brought that about? There are different issues that could bring about that. I'll tell you one of the things that could bring about mental illness also is this thing we call horning.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have known individuals who have gone into that area of their brain where they find comfort in that area of their brain because They saw their partner horning them. And it's not the horn that they're getting, it is from who they're getting it. These are the things that affects the human mind. Somebody who you trust, it's like, you know, in your home, you will trust your children, you will trust your wife, you'll trust whoever is in your home.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't take off your ring and hide it. You'll take off your ring and put it on the dresser, wherever you leave it. You'll take off your chain and put it in a particular place. Your watch, the same thing. And you wouldn't like to know that somebody comes into your room and take that and go and sells it. Let's say they sell it for drugs or something else. That is going to affect your mind, because you're going to tell yourself, who do I trust in my own home? So that is just somebody stealing from you. But what about the other things? The other things that you're supposed to trust someone with. And you're supposed to have that level of companionship, that level of empathy and sympathy from your loved ones, to understand that you're going down a road that is not the normal road. Something is affecting you, whatever it is that is affecting you, it comes about by the five senses: sight, hearing, tasting, touching, smelling. Something brought it on. And your brain is all skewed now, because the signals that are going from your brain, it's no longer there. It's not the right signals.
Yeah.
I spoke to a friend of mine that I didn't speak to in maybe about 10 years. But I called his name just 2 weeks ago. And he called me, today's what? Thursday? He called me on Tuesday. Not Tuesday, sorry, Monday. And the person who answered the phone asked me if I'll take the call. He gave a name, but I don't know him by that name. And when he came, I said, yes, I'll take it, of course. I took the call, and he started to explain to me, you know, and I remember a situation he went through many years ago with his wife and a divorce and all that. And he said, you wouldn't believe, I contemplated suicide 3 times, you know. And I wrote my notes and everything, you know, for my children and whatnot. I say, I would believe that, because going through a divorce is not an easy thing.
But that's a lot
The
of stress.
reasons behind a divorce. Sometimes you wonder how society looks at you as a failure, or what has caused it. Sometimes you need the support and you're not getting it. So when we come back, we have to talk about that support system.
Definitely. You're listening to Sexplosion on Power 102.1 FM, the guru of sex education, Dr. Raj of Total Image and the Adult Therapy Center, which is located in St. Augustine. We're going to take a break and we'll be right back with you. Stay tuned.
Mondays on Power 102 FM, the Business Corner. 60 minutes of news, analysis, and discussion about money, entrepreneurship, and work. And for those with ideas for a startup, solid tips and advice about the way forward and building the brand. From companies to currencies, investments to the role of information technology. The Business Corner with communications and business consultant Sandrine Rattan. Mondays at 2 p.m. on Power 102, empowering you. In association with the Kariri Business Hatchery and TSTT B Mobile. Life is on.
Well, at home, at work, or in your community, you've got to think twice. Think clean, go green. The 3 R's is simple: reduce, reuse, and recycle. To reduce, take small portions of food and go back 4 seconds if you are still hungry. Put the leftover food in reusable storage containers to eat a bit later on. So before you use without thought, reduce, think twice. For cleaner, greener Trinidad and Tobago. Powered by Swinco, the Trinidad and Tobago Solid Waste Management Committee Company Limited, Power 102, and Boom 94. In associations with Salu Enterprises, Price Club Supermarket, Bush Mountain TT, and the Gillett Group of companies. So you've got to think twice. Well, taking over time, it's now 19 minutes before 8 o'clock. You are listening to Sexplosion on Power 102 FM, reliable, accurate, and effective. Nobody does better what we do best when it comes to sex education. With the only sexologist in the Caribbean, Dr. Raj of Total Image and the Adult Therapy Center. Well, folks, our lines are open. If you would love to interact with Dr. Raj via the telephone, Very simple. 222-8255. Also at 612-8255. If you do decide that you want to send him a WhatsApp or a text message, you can also do that on his private mobile 740-1961. You're listening to a program that involves sex, love, and relationship. This program may contain material that is not suitable for children. Parental guidance are therefore advised. Yeah.
When you think about it, everything in our body is controlled by our brain and our nervous system. If our brain and our nervous system is not operating or functioning properly, let's say there's a 1% change, you feel it. If your brain is not functioning properly, you may not be able to walk properly. If your brain is not functioning properly, you may not be able to eat properly. You may not have an appetite because it controls everything in your body. That's our supercomputer. Our supercomputer is our brain. And if there's a malfunction with the brain, you are going to have difficulties to do the ordinary things that you're supposed to do. The ordinary things that you're supposed to do, the everyday things, like waking up. Now, when you wake up, we wake up at whatever time, whether we get a full night's rest, a half a night rest, it doesn't matter. We wake up. After you wake up, what happened? I want you to think about this carefully. After you wake up, after your eyes open on the bed, what happens?
I would think the first thing I would think of is going to the restroom.
Before that, when you wake up, the next thing that kicks in is the willpower to get off the bed. The willpower to get off the bed. Think about it carefully. If you do not have that willpower to get off the bed, you will not get off the bed. That's why when men suffer from andropause, it affects the brain in such a way that you don't want to get off the bed. You prefer to stay in the bed. What makes you get up, as you rightly say, is because you have to go to the bathroom. But how many men get up and go to the bathroom and go right back to bed? Because they don't feel like doing anything after that. I'm not talking about waking up 3 o'clock in the morning and you need to go back to sleep. I'm talking about waking up in the morning to go and do your everyday duties, but you feel so lethargic. You feel so out of it. You feel so tired that you just want to go back in bed and curl up like a ball and sleep. So the willpower, the brain gives you the willpower to get off the bed. If you do not have the brain functioning properly, you're not going to get that willpower to get off the bed. That's why they tell you if you're in the gym, and you're going to the gym early in the morning, have a partner who will motivate you and give you that willpower to get off the bed, get into your training gear and go to the gym. Or he or she meet you at the gym.
Must have a companion.
You don't must have to, but I tell you that's good to do because it gives you the willpower.
It will give you an extra drive.
Right, the drive. That's what a willpower does. It gives you the drive. But think about the women who are going through the depression. Or the men. Don't think that depression is only for women. Or the men who are going through depression. They're at a low point in their life. As a matter of fact, there was one time that they had a tablet called Prozac, a capsule called Prozac.
Yes, I could recall that name.
That everybody and the dog wanted to use that because they feel good. It was the feel-good capsule. They have a number of others now, but Prozac was eating until they find out that there's damage in liver and other things. They had to pull it off the market. But if you did not have that willpower, so when you don't have the willpower, you don't feel to bathe, you don't feel to change your clothes, you don't feel to eat. You don't have the willpower to wash the wares. You don't have the willpower to see about yourself unless for someone else. So you are telling a mother who is going through postpartum depression or depression of some sort to take care of their child. They don't want to hear that child screaming in their head. It makes it worse for them. Because anybody hears a child screaming in their head, you go into a defensive mode one time.
Oh yes, you will. Yeah.
Because it's not a nice thing to hear a child screaming because you don't know what he or she is screaming about. And maybe the child is hungry or uncomfortable or cold or too hot. You don't know why. There's nothing to tell you why. But you have individuals who are going through that state of depression and have to battle with the willpower to do the normal things that they were doing before. and other things. Take care of the household,
Yeah.
cook a meal, see about the children, see about the husband. Because whether you like it or not, the role of a woman is not an easy role, you know. I will tell you something, I'm a man. I live with my wife and a child, not my 2 children. And when I see the amount of things my wife finds herself doing on a daily basis, I can't do it. I cannot do it. I'm telling you as it is.
Yeah.
And I always look, today when I came home, she was doing something. I say, so what is she doing? She said, we can't guess. I said, well, you always working, so I can't guess what it is. You always have something to do. The other day she decided to cut the, we have this ivy growing up on the wall all over. But every week, as a rule, she will cut one side, and cut the other side, and then cut the other side, and then start back. So she's constantly doing that. And I tell her, I said, why are you doing this?
So, in other words, what she does basically is keeps herself busy.
She's always busy. From 5 o'clock in the morning to whatever time she goes to sleep. She's always busy. So she came to me and she said, I think I'm going to get rid of the ivy on the wall. I was so happy. I was so happy, Junior, you wouldn't believe. I was like, yes, cut it down. So she started. She did 3 walls. And I see she stopped. So today I got someone to come and do it. She's like, no, I ain't doing the rest. I said, look, woman, we're getting rid of the rest. Because it is work for her. That's how I see it. When you come home, relax.
Yeah.
But the role of a woman is so intense, it's unbelievable. And I'm telling you, I cannot do it, Junior. That's why single fathers, I admire them. You know. Men who are taking care of their children.
Yeah.
When they come, and that is something you have to admire because it's not the natural role of a man, you know. It's not.
No, well, he's playing a double role, basically.
Right. The same way that a woman plays a double role, but the man is playing a role that he's not equipped for. We are not, that is not in our DNA. The mothering aspect is for our mother.
That's correct. Yeah.
God made it that way. We didn't make it that way. I hope nobody's saying I'm being sexist. I'm not. I am not being sexist. That is the way God made us. A woman role is a woman role.
Okay, we have a caller on the line. Hello and welcome to Sexplosion.
Hi, Dr. Raj. Good night.
Good evening.
Good night.
Hey, family.
Dr. Raj, I had a little argument today, but the topic you're on right now, I will keep it until next week. But I want to ask you something. I met my ex and somebody in bed. Well, when he was together. I think I was about 3 or 4 years into the relationship. Only been after 16 years, you know, because he was enough together after. But I always wonder, no, I had loved her very much. Actually, I still do. But, you know, we separate. But I always wonder why it was so easy for me to walk away from that. Because, here what happened. Them days I don't get my license. I used to work Friday night, but didn't have time in them days like no. So I mostly used to work in the night. So I used to stay up to the day with my daughter when she gone to work. And then when she come up from work now, I will go out and work the night until in the morning, you know. But this night, for some reason, I figured something I came home and met her in bed with somebody. Actually met her, walking in the bedroom and them. And I stand up and watch them for less than a minute. And all I said is good night. I just collected my clothes. And I went and when the both of them jumped up, saying sorry, okay, I just got and I packed my clothes and I walk out. And I never, up to this day, I never talked about it. Even when we end up together, I never asked her why she did it, or I never make it a problem then. And I left me talking about the brain and whatever. So if you can tell me what was the reason why I walk away from that?
Well, the hurt would have caused you to shut down mentally. That was a mental shutdown, but the good thing about it is that you didn't react violently. There are some men who will react violently. There are some men who will be cool and calm about the situation and do exactly like you have done, because I know 2 persons that happened to who, one is very close to me. That happened to him, and he said that on his wedding night, he came home and caught his bride with the best man. Because the best man took the bride home. And when he went home, that is what he saw. And he did exactly like you. He just tell him hello. He took his stuff and he just left the place, and that was the end of that. But people react to situation differently, you know. And I must commend you for acting that way. But at the same time, you should bring some sort of closure, because you're still trying to understand why your brain operated that way. It is a mystery.
Everybody is saying, you know, men say it was them, all kind of things that happened. And them are not asking, how can I walk away from that?
Well, you saw it. Well, right, and that just shows you that you have an inner strength, that maybe that you tapped in at that moment, and it could have been the way the love, the intensity of the love that you had for the woman. You would have been hurt, but maybe your brain understood why at the moment, why it was happening. It could be that, because like everything that happens in life, there must be a reason for it. And let's say, for example, you know at the back of your mind that you were neglecting her. I'm not saying it was like that. I'm just saying that. And you know that you were neglecting her. And you come home and find yourself in a situation like that, where you've seen something like that and saying, oh my God, look what I have done to myself. My neglect has caused that.
No, but remember last thing I told you, that was the person that told you that you used to have sex all about the place.
I don't remember what I said last week, you know. Let me tell you something. I don't remember what you told me last week, because I talked to about 1,000 people between last week and now.
I know.
So, don't bring up that. I don't know. I really don't know.
But, but, you know, we had it good. So, I still understand why it happened. Even when my mind comes together and think, I still ask myself why it happened, because...
Well, right. And the only person who will help you with that why it happened would be her. Because she would have the reasoning behind it. Now remember, sometimes a person, we don't want to accept the fact that a person could love more than one person at the same time. A person may enjoy having sex with more than one person at the same time. These are the things that happens, you know. It's life. It's reality.
And the thing about it was my best friend too, eh?
Well, I don't expect you to do it with a stranger. If it was a stranger, it would hurt you more.
It's true.
No, I'm telling you factual things.
Yes, it would.
If it was somebody you don't know or enemy, it would have hurt you more. But because it is a best friend or a family, it has hurt you less.
Yeah.
Although people say, well, you know, it's my best friend. My best friend is your best friend.
Your best friend, right? Yeah.
All right?
Thanks very much.
But that, you see, the brain is a wonderful thing, you know. Sometimes somebody will tell you, well, boy, if it was me, I would have chopped up all of them, I would have gone on. But in reality, it may not be what they will do. In reality, you don't know until you find that position.
That's correct. Yeah.
If you walk in on a situation like that, right? I don't know what went through your brain, but in my brain, I will analyze what's going on here, why it happening, it has to be something that I have done.
Yeah.
Right? I would analyze. I may react. React differently after analyzing, but I don't know. I don't know. I can't say. It's only person who could say is the person who have found themselves in that situation, and that's the person who could deal with it.
Okay, folks, you're listening to Sexplosion on Power 102.1 FM on this Thursday evening with the guru of sex education, Dr. Raj. We're going to take a break and we'll be right back with you. Stay tuned.
Before you act, think twice.
Think twice.
Think clean. Go green. For environmental awareness.
Power 102 FM
And Boom 94 FM continue to champion responsible action for life, safety, and now a cleaner environment.
Andy,
is
yes.
what we make of it. So
Yes
let's
to your
make the
question.
right choices
The choice to reduce, to reuse, to recycle,
to conserve, to preserve.
to responsibly dispose, and to being more mindful of how we impact the world around us for this generation and those still to come.
Join us for daily tips on how you can get involved at home, at work, and in your communities.
Encourage your neighbors, colleagues, and family as well. Help change the culture and behaviors for a greener, more environmentally conscious TNT.
Think twice
Think twice.
for environmental awareness.
Brought to you by Swimco, the Trinidad and Tobago Solid Waste Management Company Limited.
Power 102 FM and Boom 94 in association with the God Group of Companies.
Bush Mountain TT, Salo Enterprises, and the Price Club Supermarket.
Think twice. Think twice.
Well, I can tell you it's a league that we never knew we needed. The Sunshine Snacks Ballpark Community League every Monday from 6 p.m. at the ML Ballpark Stadium in Macoya. Come out and see Beatniks SC, Pacemakers, MIC Tigers, Unveil FC, Love in the House, Vampers FC, Matarita FC, and SME. See them battle for greatness at the ML Ballpark Stadium, Macoya. Spectators are free. And this past Monday, the final scores looked like this. The MIC Tigers got past Vampers FC 3-0. Beatniks SC beat Love in the House by 2-0. And SME drew level with Unveil FC at 1-1 final score. Remember the Sunshine Snacks Ballpark Community League is on every Monday at the ML Ballpark Macoya. See you there. Well, taking our time, it's now 4 minutes before 8 o'clock. Sexplosion on Power 102.1 FM. I tell you, nobody does better what we do best when it comes to sex education. Right here on Power 102 FM. Reliable, accurate, and effective. Don't forget our lines are open if you would love to interact with Dr. Raj at 2228255, also at 6128255. You can also send in your messages on our website at Power 102 FM. And if you do decide that you want to send Dr. Raj a private WhatsApp or text message, you can also do that on his private mobile 740-1961.
The way I condition my mind, and I'll tell you some things about me. I have known persons who I was very close to. And I'm talking about friends, not friends, acquaintances.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the minute they step out of line, they step out of my life. You know? If you do something out of line,
Yeah.
and I think that I can't talk to you, I think that you have no right doing those things, I write you off. And the next time I see you, I would not even remember your name. I'm serious about it. The next time I see you, I will not remember your name. You're totally wiped off from my brain.
So, in other words, you just blank off that
Totally.
person.
Totally. Anytime you step out of line with me, I don't want to quarrel, I don't want to fight. Well, I'll quarrel and fight for what I believe in.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I will quarrel and fight for what I believe in, or if it's somebody I believe in and whatnot, and I think that we should fix something, that is how I will go about it in the strongest possible way.
Mm-hmm.
But if I think that you step out of line, and I don't want to get into that with you, I don't. I write you off.
Mm-hmm.
I totally write you off.
And you move on.
I move on. I move on. I have nothing to lose. I have absolutely not, because I'm a very nice person. Mm-hmm. I go out of my way for people. I do things that I'm not supposed to even do for persons. I get in trouble for that all the time. My wife just tells me, if you could give away everything, you'll give it away. But that is how I am.
That's
my personality.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, if you do me something wrong and I think I don't deserve that, and the worst thing to do is to lie to me. The minute someone lies to me, there's no coming back from that, because I think that you have committed a crime against me, lying to me. Tell me the truth, I can handle the truth. Don't lie to me. And I've always maintained that. Always. Anybody who knows me will tell you that. I don't stop to make up anything or tell.
That's not your.
That's
not your
me.
personality.
That is not me. That is not me, and I don't like to deal with those type of situation or individuals like that. So you must know your inner strength, but that is how I condition my brain, because I know how hurt you could be. I know. It's not a nice thing to get tabanka. It's not a nice thing to see somebody cheating on you. It's not a nice thing to someone has lied to you. It is not.
No, it's not.
So when you condition your brain in a certain way, you can say, well, okay, fine, that's the road you want to take. That's the game you want to play. I'm not playing that game. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
And that's all right.
Just as much as I could talk to you every day, or text you every day, or whatever, I could not do it and not be hurt by that. Switch off. Move on. You know, there's a saying, there are many more fishes in the sea.
Yes, there's a whole saying.
But that's a fact.
There's
If
many-
somebody does something to you, and guys have to learn that, you know. I mean, sometimes you're madly in love and you say, well, okay, this is the right person and whatnot. Now, there are certain persons, if they do that to me, they'll destroy me. Like if your child do that to you, you'll be destroyed. Because that is the level of understanding or love you have for that person, your wife.
Well, of
you know,
course,
certain persons, people who are close to you, your best friend, that kind of thing. But others that has come into your life and they decide to lie to you or do some kind of stupidness and you can't figure out why they're doing it, and whatever reason you're doing it, that's your business, you know.
According to my grandmother, you know, she had nice things.
Yeah. The other day I hear you.
You move on.
What day it was, boy? Someday I was listening to you on the radio with a gentleman, some guy, and he was. I don't know if he was a DJ or something, and he was playing songs from some songs there that some of the songs I never heard in my life too. Some night, what night that was? When my wife and I were in the vehicle, and we were saying, "Well, who is that person with Junior Way?"
Oh, okay. Yes. With an accent, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
a heavy accent.
Yeah, well,
He was talking about swimming.
yes.
Yeah, then all of a sudden he started to, he said that he chose this song, and one of the songs I never heard in my life, and I thought I heard every song.
Yeah, he's featured here on a program.
Oh, okay. I was just wondering.
But you know, when you heard him, you knew it wasn't family.
No, when I hear that music, it couldn't be you. No. No, it couldn't be you.
Yeah.
You would play that thing. No way.
Yeah.
That's when I know it was you. I said, well, he had to be on the keyboard, boy. Ooh, on the board.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah.
Oh,
But I like the
yes.
guy, you know,
fun we have.
he's now kicking off into the thing, you know. So
Yeah, you look like you don't kick it off, it's true.
great. Yeah. So we were saying,
Yes, so when you condition your brain that way, now not everyone could do that. I know some persons will say, well, you had a hard life, but you know I went through. But you're not the only person who have a hard life. There are persons who have had worse life than you, and they have overcome that. It is how you condition your brain to handle things.
yes,
Medication now could mess you up. There are persons who are over-medicated. They're given drugs that really they're not supposed to be given. There are things that damage them.
And then apart from that, they get hooked on what they're taking.
Yes. There are things that could damage your brain, and not only medication, but also drugs, illicit drugs.
Yeah.
That's why, you know, we had this discussion yesterday at a funeral. A young lady who I grew up with, haven't seen her I've not seen her for maybe 35 years. She was at the funeral, and we were talking, and she was talking about, you know, one day I have to try marijuana. And I in agreement. If you want to try it, but it shouldn't be ruling your life. You shouldn't be waking up every morning and wondering where you're getting your next hit from.
Yeah, but yeah.
Because then you're addicted to it.
You must control it. Don't let it control you.
No, nothing should control you. Nothing in this life should control you that you have to do this. The only thing you have to do is die. So your brain now, if you condition it in a particular way, and let's say you are diagnosed with depression and you're given medication, and there are some persons who are medicated as an experiment, you know.
Okay, we have a call on.
You know that?
Oh, yeah. Hello and welcome to Sexplosion. Good evening.
Hello, how are you going?
Hey, Lachman,
How are you going, Mike?
I say you off the chart, man.
No, I still around, man.
Well, we haven't heard you for months.
I know that.
Well, if you know that, well, you should do something about it.
Okay, well, let me hear about them.
Okay.
Right, so,
Thank you very much.
right,
Well, I hope you're in the best of health.
Exactly. This is what you hear taken care of. How somebody presently who does come on a morning and leave in the evening,
Drop.
get a proper meal for me and what have you, wash my clothes and what have you, and they gone.
Okay, well, that's good. I'm happy to hear that.
No sex to anything.
Well, that could always be a sideline.
You come home and eat, you sit down, you talk, I tell you what we have to do, fine. And I go in my room and I lie
You must write. You must write it on a piece of paper for them and give them instructions. Say these are the things that you have to do. And when she get the instructions, so she knows. And you could be sleeping.
Somebody laughs.
All right, take care, Batman.
Yeah, because normally I'll tell you something. Somebody tell me that what I doing right now, I'm looking more young. So, okay.
Well, that's a good compliment if somebody tell you looking more young. Whatever you're doing right now, maybe you're getting enough rest. As you say, it is not a sexual situation. Maybe I know you does exercise because you say you have a gym home. So with the rest and exercise, you should know that will help you. That will make you feel good, and it will strengthen you.
Yes, it
so
will.
whenever you have to deal with people or somebody meet you, they say, "Aye, Lachman, you're looking good. You're looking good for your age."
Yeah,
Right. So that brain that we're talking about, if you abuse your brain, and you remember I started off by saying we don't take care of our brain health.
Yeah, we have another caller on the line. Hello and welcome to Sexplosion. Good evening.
I will call him back again. Dr. Raj, I encourage people who are husband and wife to listen to your program.
Uh-huh.
And I listen tonight. Like this, I hear what you're talking about. And I say, they're doing a wonderful job. And keep it up. And next time they must call.
Okay, thank you.
Alright?
Thank you very much for
Yes,
that.
family, thanks a lot.
They are Mr. and Mrs. G.
Mr. and Mrs. James,
Yeah.
pleasant good evening to you.
Okay then.
Yeah.
Okay, family, thanks for calling. Yeah.
So once you take care of your brain health, exercise your brain, do little crosswords and Sudoku and those things. You do exercise for the brain, little mathematical problems. You don't have to anything fancy. Read.
Yeah.
Feed your brain the right nutrients.
Keep it active.
Keep it active. Don't just live in a vacuum and not put that brain into use. Let me tell you something, and whatever you feed into the brain is what the brain will develop with you. So if you feed the brain with gossip, and you feed the brain with lies and untruths and innuendos, that's all you're doing, The brain is going to take that and develop it into you. You are a reflection of your brain, what your brain sends out there. That's why you say, well, he's an intelligent man. How do you know that? Well, when he speaks, listen to how he speaks, man. You learn something from him. Right. You feel he's an intelligent man because he's listening to gossip and going on Facebook and taking up stupidness from Facebook and talking about it. It's because he has been reading and he has been listening and learning and applying that. Education is great, Knowledge is fantastic, But it's what you do with it thereafter. There are lots of people with knowledge out there who don't pass it on. A good woodworker who could use a chisel in a particular way and do things, and when it's done, you say, "Whoa, that masterpiece, boy, how you do that?" That's my trade secret. I go tell nobody. And he comes and dies, and that dies with him. You have not done anything because that thing that you make, whatever you have made, going to only last a certain period of time.
Yeah.
It could burn down in a house. It could be destroyed by accident. Something could happen to it. But when you pass on the knowledge to another person, it's not destroyed. It's enhanced. Your knowledge is always enhanced. And that knowledge, he will pass it on or she will pass it on to someone else. It is enhanced. And then he or she will say, Mr. Roger teach me that. That's the man who teach me that.
Yeah.
So she is using Mr. Roger name now to somebody else. That person don't know who Mr. Roger is, But they say, yeah, boy, I learned that from Kathleen, but she learned it from Mr. Roger, So Mr. Roger name lives on because of knowledge and passing on that knowledge. But when you are selfish with your knowledge, you keep that within yourself and you say, I don't need to pass this on to anybody. Let me die with it because that's my trade secret.
That's selfishness.
That is total selfishness, but you have not done any justice to your life.
No. You want to leave a
So
legacy as a matter of fact.
you're leaving but not only leaving a legacy. without even thinking about leaving a legacy, you're teaching someone something that they can make their lives better.
Yep.
So knowledge is important. Not sitting down home and studying one number, going and play. And what you dream? Hey, what you dream last night, boy? Hey, it had a big stick crossing the road. I want to go play. That is not knowledge. You're feeding junk into the brain. There's a saying in computer science when we were learning computer. GIGO. Garbage in, garbage out. You put garbage in the brain, you're getting garbage out. You can't get anything else. Same thing with the brain. Same thing with a computer. Garbage in, give you garbage out. The brain is your supercomputer.
Anyway, folks, taking our time, it's now 12 minutes after 8 o'clock. You are listening to Sexplosion on this Thursday evening with the guru of sex education, Dr. Raj of Total Image and the Adult Therapy Center, which is located in St. Augustine. We're going to take a break and we'll be right back with you. Stay tuned.
Before you act, think twice.
Think twice.
Think clean. Go green. For environmental awareness.
Power 102 FM
And Boom 94 FM continue to champion responsible action for life, safety, and now a cleaner environment.
Our planet is what we make of it, so let's make the right choices.
The choice to reduce, to reuse, to recycle,
To conserve, to preserve,
to responsibly dispose, and to being more mindful of how we impact the world around us for this generation and those still to come.
Join us for daily tips on how you can get involved at home, at work, and in your communities.
Encourage your neighbors, colleagues, and family as well. Help change the culture and behaviors for a greener, more environmentally conscious TNT.
Think twice
Think twice.
for environmental awareness.
Brought to you by Swimco, the Trinidad and Tobago Solid Waste Management Company Limited.
Power 102 FM and Boom 94 in association with the Guard Group of Companies.
Bush Mountain TT, Salo Enterprises, and the Price Club Supermarket. Think twice
Think twice.
for a cleaner, greener Trinidad and Tobago.
Tired of boring ice cream? Then it's time to step up to the real king of homemade. Introducing the bold and new look of Munchkins Homemade Soursop Ice Cream. The heavenly taste of homemade soursop. Now that's what you call ice cream. Munchkins Soursop Ice Cream. Gotta have it today.
Power 102 invites you to Divine Inspiration, your guide to the way, the truth, and the light. Be inspired by powerful music, inspirational preachers, and transformational testimonials. Divine Inspiration, Mondays to Thursdays, 9 p.m. to midnight on Power 102 FM and streaming live via the Power 102 app. Tune in to Divine Inspiration and be transformed.
I want to continue that you are making radio an experience by itself. When you're listening to Sexplosion on Power 102.1 FM, I tell you this is what it's all about, taking sex education where it has never been before. With the only sexologist in the Caribbean, Dr. Raj of Total Image and the Adult Therapy Center. Now, folks, don't forget all the lines are open if you would love to interact with him via the telephone. Maybe something sexual on your mind that you want to get out of your chest, right? Well, this is the forum for it. 222-8255. Also at 612-8255. If you do decide that you want to send him a WhatsApp or a text message, you can also do that on his private mobile, 740-1961. You can also send in your messages on our website at Power 102 FM.
There are individuals who would find themselves reading certain stories or books or, a long time they used to have something called the Enquirer.
The Inquirer, right,
And
yeah.
there was another one called the Globe and all them kind of crap papers. And people used to read that and believe it, Alien land on Valencia Stretch and you grab two people and take them in the bush.
As a matter of fact, the Inquirer is still around.
Inquirement minds want to know. That was a tagline.
Yeah.
The same way you have persons who read the holy book or a holy book and they could quote you anything from the holy book, but they're living nothing from the holy book.
Yeah.
Because the first thing they do is condemning everybody.
It happens.
They could read you any passage from the holy book, but they're condemning everything else. But they applying themselves. God didn't tell you to come down here and study that alone, you know. Study to be a human being. I know there's some fanatics who listen to this program. They don't like the program, eh? They don't like the program. They think it's the worst thing. They think that this is a devil program. But they listen to it every single time we are on. So, who is doing something wrong? If I believe, and I'll give you a good example. I stopped going to Calypso tents, which I love, because people were condemning my race and religion. And that was a conscious decision. If I, as a Hindu Indian, went to a Calypso tent afterwards and heard the same thing being sung about me, my race and my people, who is the fool? The Calypsonian or me? I am the fool. I am paying my money to go and sit on a hard chair, to listen to somebody condemn my race, my religion, and whatever else. I have to be a fool.
Well, yes.
So the person who is condemning this program and listening to it, that is the fool. Because we'll continue doing what we're doing, you know.
Yeah.
Nothing's going to stop me.
And they will continue listening.
And they will, no, but they are foolish. Because what are you listening for? To get what? To get information against me? You can't do me anything. What could you do me? One person tell me their phone number is JESUS. I'm like, I wanted to give them the right answer, but you know me. You know me.
Yeah.
You know, Gandhi said it the right way, no? I love your Christ, but I do not like your Christians because they're not Christ-like. And that's a fact, you know? I love your Christ, but I do not like your Christians because they're not Christ-like. Always remember that.
That's a good line to remember.
There's not a line. Jesus, Gandhi said that.
It's a good thing.
Remember that. That's why, I think it was earlier this week or last week, I had to commend the Commissioner of Police for that new squad that he's bringing out to see about animals. Gandhi said that also.
Yes, I picked that
A nation, a nation is judged on the way it treats its dumb animals. And I believe that.
I was happy to see that.
I'm extremely happy.
I was happy to see that.
At least somebody in authority standing up for the dumb animals. I mean, there are lots of people who do it, eh?
Yeah.
But for someone like that to say, here, what, you have a squad for that.
Making a law of that.
Enforce the law.
Yeah.
But this is what you do with your brain. If you put rubbish in your brain becomes a bin, you know. And what happens to a bin? You ever see a bin? Have you ever seen a bin better off after you put rubbish in it?
Of course not.
Well, talk done. You cannot make a bin better off. A bin will get stained. There are things that scum that will stick on that bin that you could never get off no matter what you do. You could boil it in hot water, it's coming off. The bin will get dented. So you put in rubbish into the bin and you expect to get gold to come out? You expect to get diamonds to come out? You're not going to get that. So continue putting rubbish in your brain and see what happens.
Anyway, folks, taking our time, 21 minutes after 8 o'clock. You are making radio an experience by itself when you're listening to Sexplosion right here on Power 102 FM. The only sexologist in the Caribbean, Dr. Raj Ramnanam of Total Image and the Adult Therapy Center.
So
No, gonna be good.
Problems and destructive anxieties of today tearing you apart? If there was ever a time to readjust your priorities and refocus your vision, it's now. Join Pastor Wayne Sampson on the Vision of Hope devotional program every Monday from 5:30 to 6 a.m. right here on Power 102 FM. Jesus is the only one who can give you peace in the midst of today's storm.
Well, you're You're listening to Sexplosion on Power 102.1 FM this Thursday evening with the guru of sex education, Dr. Raj Ramnanan of Total Image and the Adult Therapy Center, which is located in St. Augustine. Folks, our lines are open. If you would love to interact with him via the telephone, feel free. 222-8255, also at 612-8255. If you do decide that you want to send him a WhatsApp or a text message, you can also do that on his private mobile, 740-1961. You can also send in your messages on our website at Power 102 FM. You're listening to a program that deals with sex, love, and relationship on Power 102 FM. Reliable, accurate, and effective.
When you love a man or you love a woman, when your brain sees that in a person, how do you think you're going to react to that person? Not in a sexual way.
In a sexual way, yeah, of course you will.
But if you and your partner at war, and you're ill-treating your partner and your partner don't like you, feel they're going to see you in a sexual way?
No,
so the brain is going to switch off for you.
Okay, we have a call on the line. Thank you for holding. Hi, good evening, and welcome to Sexplosion.
Good evening.
Just inquisitive about this, and we don't know about if there's any such thing in Trinidad and how we can go about this and so on.
Yes, there is. I have a swingers club, so you can contact me, 740-1961.
Okay, thank you.
All right, you're welcome.
Thanks a lot for calling. Yeah.
So, if you don't take care of that, I have heard men come to me with sexual dysfunction. And when you ask them what sort of relationship you have with your wife, it's not good. If you don't have a good relationship with your wife, how are you going to function sexually? When you examine the facts and you ask them about, sometimes they don't want to tell you right away. So it may take a couple of visits before they start telling you. That's why you make notes and you reference your notes on what they told you before, and you're looking for a synergy or some sort of answer. And when you ask them the question later on, you realize that the relationship went sour 10 years ago. So it went sour 10 years ago, but you expect to have a good sexual relationship with your wife. You can't have a good sexual relationship with yourself. If this is supposed to be your better half, as we just like to say, this is my better half. I hate to hear people talk them kind of crap.
Yeah.
If you know, I hate to hear them kind of crap. This is my better half. What better half?
There's another one.
It just came off my brain. I know. I'll get it in a while. You don't make those statements and afterwards you treat any person like crap. If it's your better half, you should be adoring your better half. But you know that the person who's saying that is a drunkard. Now when he drunk, you do a better half, you know. You know, when he go home, he put in some licks in she tail because she always bruise up and beat up. What? It's words? It's words? Sex don't work on words alone. Now, if you have a sweet tongue and you meet a woman and you want to have that kind of conversation with her, or she wants to have that kind of conversation, she flirting with you, you feel a way sexually. Yes, that is normal. That is normal.
Another line that you were speaking in terms of lines that people use, another line that I don't love or don't like hearing is, that's my child's mother.
Oh God, child mother and child father. I hate that thing.
Yeah, that's another line that
I dislike.
I'm not impressed with.
Doc, important question. What about the people who get turned on when they're at war? What do you mean get turned on when they're at war? What do you mean by that? How could you be at war with somebody and that turns you on? It is not. That is something is wrong with the brain. That is not normal human behavior. So if that is happening, that person needs help.
More than help.
Yes.
Desperate too.
Yeah. Because what it's going to lead to a situation where somebody is going to be hurt, terribly hurt. I know some people say, I like to quarrel because I like the make-up sex. So you will quarrel for the make-up sex? Something is wrong with you.
Yes. I've heard that line too.
Something is wrong with you if you go to pick a fight so that you could get the makeup sex.
And some people.
So it's come like taking a tablet for the side effects. I'm going to take the tablet because I like the side effects. It doesn't matter that the tablet damaged my liver and damaged my kidney and other things. I taking this tablet because I like the side effects. Madness. Madness.
Total madness.
Total madness.
I can't. You see, when you're thinking in terms of getting in an argument to have make-up sex, eventually it becomes a habit. Because what happens there?
Yeah, because a habit is a bad habit.
It will
So I will look to quarrel with you. I will look to pick a fight for makeup sex. Nah. Totally wrong. Sitaram Doc, my wife and I are tuned in. Rishi and Arlene. Thank you very much, Rishi and Arlene. We don't have a WhatsApp number. You can call us at 222-8255 or 612-8255. We don't have a WhatsApp number.
Okay,
we did have one recently, and I see them remove it.
Hello and welcome to Sexplosion. Good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, Mr. Raj,
Yes.
I had a question, but like you answered already.
I wouldn't know the question that you had.
That is, we put into a brain, we put rubbish into a brain. That way it gets out.
But that's a fact. Look at anyone who is unintelligent or do idiotic things because they have put garbage in their brain all through their life. And there are persons who believe in garbage. Thank you.
Well, thanks a lot for calling. Don't forget, for those of you who would love to interact with Dr. Raj, numbers you can call. He's in studio right now at 222-8255. Also at 612-8255. Yeah.
You feed your body with nutrients. You feed your brain with nutrients, but also you feed your brain with things that are going to be helpful for the brain, the nervous system, and your well-being. You know, there are some individuals who learn big words, and they put the big words into things that they're saying, but it doesn't apply. They don't know the meaning of it.
Yeah.
There are persons who speak like that.
Just to mention.
Yeah, just they say, well, yeah, man, plenty big word, but it doesn't apply to what you're saying.
Yeah.
There's no relevance to it.
Using it in the
wrong context. You get that a lot with people who want to pretend they have a certain level of intelligence. And that is how you just do.
Yeah, and especially if someone is trying to impress you so much that they start using words that is not necessary to you.
No. But because you want to impress, so you bring forth something that is not real, you do that. That's why you will always see true people if you examine things properly.
Especially if you're trying something behind a girl. And, you know, so, especially you meet someone and you're trying something and you're trying to impress them so much. You ain't past secondary school education, but you want to have a college conversation.
Well, that's why they tell you, if you have a certain level of education, do not get involved with somebody who has lesser education than you. And this is serious, or lesser intelligence than you, because you're going to have a problem with your relationship.
Yeah.
You will find that there's going to be a divide in the relationship. Now, I'm not talking about if you have a degree, looking for somebody with the same degree. You know. You could have a degree and not be as intelligent as the person you marry who don't have a degree. You know. Intelligence and degree is two different things. You know. Anybody could go and get a degree. You know.
Yeah.
But it's what they apply and what kind of degree they have. There are persons who have degree in certain things that are irrelevant, but they have a degree. Yeah. So we're not talking about that. There are persons who will go to school and they're very good at exams, you know. And there are those who go to school and give a crap about the exam and what they get in the exam they get, and they care about that, you know. That was me. I really didn't care. It never was important to me to get an A. I never see that as being important.
Okay.
I saw going to class and learning was important to me and applying what I learned. That's why my friends could tell me today, the only person who used to preach about what they were going to do with their lives and did it is you. Nobody else. In our university. Because I stuck to what I believe in. I gave myself that background. And I continue with that throughout my life. When everybody who went away, I mean, anybody could tell you this, there are persons who went away with the intention of never coming back home. My intention was always to come back home. I had nothing to live for outside of Trinidad and Tobago. When all my friends were getting married to get their green card and whatnot, my good friend who I was living with at the time, she got married to one of my friends. She said, Raj, you don't want a green card? I said, for what? I don't want a hat. I have no use for that. I said, when I have to travel, I'll apply for a visa, and if I get it, I travel. If I don't get it, I don't travel. It's as simple as that.
That's an open-minded person.
I wanted to come back home and contribute to Trinidad and Tobago. So when everybody was finding a way to stay in the United States, either by marriage or by hiding or whatever else, my intention, the first, you understand? The date of my last exam, the next day I was on a plane, you know. The next day, you know, I wanted to come back home, contribute to Trinidad and Tobago, and I continue to do that. Because that is what I fed into my brain.
Yes, but I think
I never sat in Trinidad and said, boy, America's so nice, or England's so nice, I want to go there and live. I never fed that in my brain.
so
I
you
say,
was-
okay, for higher education, fine.
Yeah, but to put, you program yourself to come home after you study.
That was in my brain. It is in my brain till I die.
That was great.
Yeah. So, the same thing. My thing is that the person who is my wife was my girlfriend, was the first person I saw and said, that is my wife. And that was in my brain. That is programmed there. And I feed it every single day with positive things till today. Married for 34 years, going on 35 years, and know each other 10 years prior to that. We're talking about 45 years of my life. And every single time I'm with my wife, whether we go for a drive, we go to a funeral, we go to a wedding, we go and just sit down and we'll talk, I feed positive things to my brain. It doesn't mean to say I don't snap. It doesn't mean to say I wouldn't get in an argument. It doesn't mean to say something I don't behave like a backside. But I check back immediately. Because that is what I'm feeding into your brain. How many men don't want to go home tonight? How many men listening to this program in a rum shop or a bar or wherever they play and don't want to go home? Don't want to face their wife? How many women listening to this and hoping their husband don't come home? There are people like that.
Oh, yeah.
There are people out there like that. There are people out there who thinks that they should not be with the person that they're married to. They should not be with the person that they're in love with. I'm in love with him, but at a distance. Yeah, it's okay if you're not around.
They're not into it 100%.
No. No. You know, my friends know this. When I leave my job and I head in home, don't call me to go and lie, man. Thing, you know. I passed it in front of a bar once. Well, I have to pass that bar to go home. And my friends were in the bar hanging out and they saw me. They called me on the phone. Hey, Raj, you just passed me where we were so and so. I said, yeah, I see the cars. And he didn't stop. I said, for what? I said, I'm going home, you know. I said, if I leave my office to go in the bar to meet all you and then go home, that's something different.
Oh, yes. Yeah, that's a...
That is something different. Not that I have to report to my wife, you know. Not at all, you know.
No.
If I stop off there, she wouldn't mind. She wouldn't say a word about it. She don't even call me to find out where I am. She will call me like 8 o'clock in the night and say, everything okay? Not 5 o'clock in the evening. And anybody who knows her knows that is the truth. But I feed in my mind that I'm leaving my business place to go home and I have no reason to stop for anything. And I want to get home because I look forward to doing that. How many persons look forward to that? Getting home, spending time with their spouse, watching television, cleaning the yard, doing whatever. How many persons enjoy that? I'm not asking anybody to be like me. What I'm asking is what you feed in your brain.
Yeah.
What you feed in your brain. And when fellas get together, thank God I don't know anybody like this. It's the bad talk, their wife or bad talk. I went to a meeting once. I was asked to go and address this group. And out in the parking lot, these guys got together and they were Not one person had something positive to say about their wives. I was like, this is a bashing wife club. Or after I did my presentation and whatnot, I left. I don't want to have nothing to do with them again. Because they were bashing their wives.
No, yeah. And especially that's a lot of bad talk, especially when you're having a few.
Well, that is exactly, like, that you was there.
No, I try to pass by bars and hear people talking.
No, but when persons do that, what are you doing? You're feeding negativity into your life. That's why I tell you, you have to feed your brain, just as we talk about feeding your skin.
Yeah.
You feed your skin with certain vitamins. You feed your skin with lotion and cream and whatever else you need to take. There's something called hair, skin, and nails. You use that for your skin because the skin is composed of the hair and it is composed of your nails, which is something very fantastic to use, hair, skin, and nail supplement.
Mm-hmm.
But how do you feed your brain? What do you feed your brain with? We talk about the brain chapter, we talk about vitamins, we talk about B complex. We talk about different things that you can use, but how many persons want to take a brain sharpener to feed their brain, to make your brain into a better functioning organ?
No.
Now, I'll give you a little thing. The same man you're telling to buy a bottle of brain sharpener, I don't know the price. Let me say it's $400. I really don't know prices, so I might be right or I might be wrong, I don't know. A bottle of brain sharpener has 30 capsules.
Uh-huh.
So which means to say you're taking one at night for 30 days, so it will last you 30 days. Man will tell you, boy, so much for that? $400? You're mad over me, you're going to spend that kind of money on tablets. You're mad, what I going to do for me? You tell that same person, boy, let me go online. Go on online. You want to impress your friends, you buy a bottle of whiskey or a bottle of rum. You buy chasers, you buy cutters, you buy this. You spend $500 to impress your friend. And every time you take a drink of alcohol, you kill thousands, if not millions of cells in your brain. Every time you take a drink, you kill millions of cells. But because we have trillions of billions of cells in our brain, or billions of trillions of cells in our brain, you don't feel it. But eventually, anybody who is alcoholic, what has happened to the brain? What has happened to the brain? If you don't, I am not telling you don't drink, What I'm telling you is the damage that it's going to do for you, because your brain is not going to function properly and you're going to get erectile dysfunction because your brain not functioning properly, your nervous system not functioning properly, you're going to damage your liver. So you're putting your body under stress and you want to function properly sexually? How the hell that going to happen?
Anyway, folks, taking our time, it's now 21 minutes before 9 o'clock. You are listening to Sexplosion on this Thursday evening with the guru of sex education, Dr. Raj of Total Image and the Adult Therapy Center. We're going to take a break and we'll be right back with you. Stay tuned.
Power 102 invites you to Divine Inspiration, your guide to the way, the truth, and the light. Be inspired by powerful music, inspirational preachers, and transformational testimonials. Divine Inspiration, Mondays to Thursdays, 9 p.m. to midnight on Power 102 FM and streaming live via the Power 102 app. Tune in to Divine Inspiration and be transformed.
At work, at home, and in your community, you've got to think twice, think clean, go green. All these reduce the unnecessary use of resources and help the environment. The 3 R's. It's simple. Reduce, reuse, and recycle. So before you use without thought, reduce, think twice for a cleaner, greener Trinidad and Tobago. Powered by Swincall, the Trinidad and Tobago Solid Waste Management Company Limited, Power 102, Boom 94, in association with Salu Enterprises, Price Club Supermarket, Bush Mountain T&T, and the Gillett Group of Companies. Well, folks, taking our time, 19 minutes before 9 o'clock, you're listening to the magic of sex education with the only sexologist in the Caribbean, Dr. Raj of Total Image and the Adult Therapy Center, which is located in St. Augustine. Our lines are open if you would love to interact with him via the telephone. Feel free at 222-8255, also at 612-8255. If you want to send him a WhatsApp or a text message, you can also do that on his private mobile 740-1961. You're listening to a program that deals with sex, love, and relationship on Power 102. Reliable, effective, and of course, accurate.
Danny asks, what is erectile dysfunction? Erectile dysfunction is when you're incapable of getting an erection for sexual intercourse the way you were accustomed to getting it, or if you don't get turned on and get an erection. That is erectile dysfunction. Renuka is having some issues with her internet. Chanel says, "Night, I understand what you're saying. My relationship was on a rocky road, and I started talking to a male friend. Now my husband is upset and blaming me for the problem he is experiencing now. The brain is so real in a way we live and our philosophy on the life itself." That's so right. You know, some people has asked me, "Boy, where you get a wife like that, boy?"
Mm-hmm.
I know of individuals who asked to meet my wife to give her a medal, because they know me.
Oh yeah.
And to know me, and to know, they say, "Boy, she deserves a trophy or a medal." But it's because she don't let her brain get in the way with them things.
No,
She has always detached herself from those things. A woman could stop me and talk to me. She will never ask me, "Who is that woman? Why are you talking to she? How long you..." Nothing like that.
That don't happen with all women.
She continues on her way and do whatever she has to do. I will catch up with her sometimes and say, "Why you left her?" She said, "No, you talk."
Mm-hmm. That is when
And it happens all the
but
time.
that is when your spouse has so much confidence in you. This
course.
is what happens.
And natural remedies such as raw egg, honey, and carrot assistant. No, that will not give you an erection. Sorry. Good night, Dr. Raj. A little help is needed here. I am a 55-year-old male being married for the last 21 years. Seems I have lost interest in my sex life. In sex, my wife is 44 years old and she's always tired and also not interested. Well, if your wife is not interested, that will make you disinterested also. That will also put you in a situation where your libido will drop. Because sometimes you might tell yourself, "Well, I'm taking advantage of her." It depends on the love you have for your partner also, There are many times that you want to have sex, but your wife tired and you say, "Well, I won't bother her."
Yeah.
Because of the love you have for it, not because you want your satisfaction.
No.
You have to get it.
No. Especially if your wife has had a
Hard day. And especially if you have that level of understanding and that love. Okay, I like this one. It's only a girl Mary will buy the brain sharpener. 13 a box for $3.90. I still give it to my sons. I know she buy it for her sons. But no, a lot of people buy the brain sharpener, But what I'm saying is that it's a very popular product. We can never have enough. It sells out quickly. But the company, they do it in batches. Because it's natural, it's fresh, it's something that works well. As a matter of fact, I don't know if I should be saying this, but the woman who make this product, she deals with two of the royal families in this world. Two of the royal families, one in the Middle East and one in Europe. And they use the product. That's how effective the product is. But I don't need to tell people that. Whoever has used it knows the power.
Well, in the past, when you spoke about it a couple of years ago, people endorsed what you said. Because
that's the same company that make the crazy pill for my partner crazy. Same person.
Same person.
Yeah, same person. So you know how good it is. Same person. But we're talking, understanding your spouse is important to make everything better. Of course, Christine, you're so right about that. Understanding your spouse is very important. But some people don't have that level of understanding. They think that the whole thing is about me, and me. That's why some person will tell you they like to hug up, they like to cuddle, they like to be close to one another without the sex being attached to it. Because if the person, and the worst thing to happen is if you are a person who likes sex, but you can't satisfy your partner. So let me say you really like sex. Most men will tell you, "I really like sex, but I can have sex 10 times a day. Yeah, 10 times a day for 1 second. Like 10 seconds.
Yeah.
That's 10 seconds. You want to get started yet and you ejaculate and you're going to sleep. Or you're going about your business. You think she's going to be turned on or want to make love to you No.
No, she's still on the runway and you don't take off already.
She a taxi out of the of the terminal.
Yeah.
You go on, you're playing gone, you're playing IO too. But that is the reality of it. Most men, they want to consider themselves to be stud, right? Or most men who consider themselves to be stud is incapable of satisfying their wives because they don't last long enough. So they have a sexual dysfunction, they have a erectile dysfunction, or they have a premature ejaculation problem. So they're not satisfying their wives, and what happened?
And you know what is the common answer to that?
What?
That they will give? You was too sweet.
You're too sweet. Oh God, honey, you're too sweet. You make my breakfast. I didn't make your breakfast. You're incapable of lasting long.
Yeah, I tell you.
Junior is an excellent co-host. He's doing an excellent job, enjoying his contribution. Anybody want to replace him? I'm looking for a replacement for Junior. Hey, we should really send out that boys if we get a replacement.
Yeah.
About time.
No, it's nice to sit in the back. No, it's nice to sit in
It
the
would be
back.
nice if you sit over there.
It's nice to sit in the background and
Unless somebody take the board. You remember when Chris and them used to come there and used to come over on the side?
Yeah, yes.
You don't do that anymore because I know Angel on the side. I know.
The angels on the, no.
Yeah, like maybe like the
When the angels
maybe
start,
no lack of perfume or
when
something.
the angels start coming back,
You'll do that.
I'll
But
do
who will
that.
handle the board here? We'll have to call out Ruben.
no, you put it on
Autopilot?
Yeah, autopilot.
All right. I thought they would have done one of those things with the board.
we could call Ruben.
Yeah, we can.
Ruben worked with us already.
Yeah, Ruben has done that already, so
Yeah.
we'll have to do it that way.
As a matter of fact, he got lucky many a times
Many, many times.
working the board. He didn't even get bored. Anyway, folks, thinking over time, 10 minutes before 9 o'clock, you are on the inside of Sexplosion on Power 102.1 FM. Nobody does better what we do best when it comes to sex education. We're going to take a break and we'll be right back with you. Stay tuned.
Before you act, think twice.
Think twice.
Think clean. Go green. For environmental awareness.
Power 102 FM.
And Boom 94 FM continue to champion responsible action for life, safety, and now a cleaner environment.
Our planet is what we make of it, so let's make the right choices.
The choice to reduce, to reuse, to recycle,
To conserve, to preserve.
to responsibly dispose, and to being more mindful of how we impact the world around us for this generation and those still to come.
Join us for daily tips on how you can get involved at home, at work, and in your communities.
Encourage your neighbors, colleagues, and family as well. Help change the culture and behaviors for a greener, more environmentally conscious TNT.
Think twice
Think twice.
for environmental awareness.
Brought to you by Swimco, the Trinidad and Tobago Solid Waste Management Company Limited.
Power 102 FM and Boom 94 in association with the GERD Group of Companies.
Bush Mountain TT, Salo Enterprises, and the Price Club Supermarket. Think twice
Think twice.
for a cleaner, greener Trinidad and Tobago.
I want to tell you that when in doubt, you can always count on us when it comes to sex education right here on Power 102 FM. Your number one all around the station when it comes to talk and music. You're on the inside of Sexplosion with the only sexologist in the Caribbean, Dr. Raj Ramnanan of Total Image and the Adult Therapy Center, which is located in St. Augustine. Yeah.
Good night, Doc. Can low testosterone cause you to have erectile dysfunction? That is what gives you erectile dysfunction. Low testosterone. Yes. If you have low testosterone, you are going to get erectile dysfunction.
You would, yeah.
Yeah. Can't get away from that.
But it could be cured.
What do you think about a 65-year-old woman and a 38-year-old man? Nothing.
Nothing wrong with
Nothing. Once they're happy, they're happy.
that. Yes. Once the feelings is there,
Once they have feelings for one another and they take care of each other, why not?
I don't see.
I don't see anything wrong in that.
It doesn't matter in a relationship.
People make it matter because
People-
People on the outside make things matter that they want to get into other people's business.
Yeah.
What makes the person happy makes them happy.
Grandmother had a word for that too.
What is that?
Mako.
Yeah. Yeah. Your grandmother had a right word for that. Because she's in agreement.
Yes. It's up to you. It's the way you feel.
It's entirely up to you. It's entirely up to individuals what they want to do, how they want to do it. Is it disrespect? No.
Of course not.
Why would that be disrespect?
Once the feeling is neutral.
She a Robin no cradle. She a put a gun to by his head and say, like me.
No.
He have to like her in order for they to have a relationship.
Yeah, you must have had some kind of feelings brewing.
It
in
will not
between.
be that way. So when we talk about these things, and we talk about those two large organs and what we're doing to feed it, what we are doing to feed the skin, the nervous system that is attached to the skin, the circulatory system that is attached to the skin, but more importantly, the brain that controls the nervous system, that controls the circulatory system, that controls the endocrine system, what are you doing to feed that? We have 3 systems in our body. 3. We have 3 systems that must work in harmony. And the only thing that causes it to work in harmony is the brain.
Yeah.
So when you're going through depression and you're going through things that are affecting your brain and your mind, you cannot function as a normal human being. You cannot function the way you should function. You are going to have situations that are going to affect you. Therefore, what happens to you? So that's what you have to take into consideration. What is happening to your brain when you do these things?
Yeah.
How am I strengthening that organ that is so vital for my betterment, for my temperament, for my love, for my personality, for my sexual life?
Yeah.
What am I doing for it?
It's a food for thought.
No, it's to put some food to your brain. Feed the brain.
Yeah. A little brain sharpener would always put you on the right track.
Brain sharpener, vitamins, right foods.
Yes, right foods, yeah.
Stay away from the alcohol and the drugs and the cigarette. You know this, I see a lot of people smoking this thing called vape.
Yeah.
Do you know how dangerous vape is?
You know, I saw a story.
That worse than cigarette, you know?
Yes, they said
It's better you go and smoke cigarette, you know?
Yeah, they said so. They said, I saw something, I saw a story, and there was one guy was out of, this is on foreign news, out on some club, and he was recharging it in his pocket.
And it exploded.
And it exploded.
No, well, forget the explosion part. I'm talking about
The
inhaling that
vapor
vape.
itself.
That's only chemicals you're inhaling, you know?
Yeah. I heard him talk about
I know someone who sells it, and they gave me one to try it, and I got dry throat and was like, what the hell, people smoke this?
Yeah.
It's not recommended.
No,
But why are you putting these foreign elements into your body that is not going to do anything positive to you? And it's not an occasional thing. I mean, if you do it occasionally and you say, okay, it's once in a while kind of thing.
well, then that's a different kettle of fish.
Yeah.
That's a different kettle of fish altogether.
But there are some things when you use it once and you're hooked on it too.
Well,
Certain drugs are like that.
even as a matter of fact, apart from that, painkillers.
Oh yeah, painkillers are.
I know people that is hooked on tablets for headache, and sometimes they don't have a headache, but they're taking the tablet. They say it's in advance. So if the headache decides to come along, I have a blocker for it, which is unbelievable.
Yeah. That is a fact.
Anyway, folks, taking your time, it's now 5 minutes before 9 o'clock. Sexplosion on Power 102.1 FM. And for those of you who are listening to Sexplosion for the very first time, Sexplosion is featured here on Power 102 FM every Thursday and Friday evening. On Thursday from 7 until 9 o'clock. Then Dr. Raj is back here with me on a Friday from 9 p.m.
Good night, Dr. Raj. Want to ask you a question. Is Swingers Club is like this movie Suburban Swingers Club? I don't know. I've never seen the movie.
No.
I know what Swingers Club is, but I don't know what the movie is about. I remember movies are based on, some things are based on reality, but it may not be a reflection of a true Swingers Club. I don't know.
No, no,
I don't know.
no.
I've never seen the movie, that's why I don't know, but I know what Swingers Club is. I belong to a number of international clubs, and locally I've had a Swingers Club in Trinidad since 1986. Good night, Dr. Raj. How do you improve your testosterone level? Come to the Adult Therapy Center and get the treatment for that. That's how you improve it. There are certain things I will not give out on the radio because I have a clinic that treats those things. And if you want true treatment, you come to the clinic, you pay your money, and you do it.
Yes, but then apart from that, you give free advice.
But there are some people who want everything free.
You know, you must.
Yeah, but there are some people who want everything free.
There must be a cutoff point.
Right.
As
But
far
there are
as
some
we
things
have
I
the
don't tell.
No.
And it's not a trade secret. If you come for treatment, you get the full treatment, you get the best treatment.
Yeah.
So it's not a trade secret I keep back from people. I am here to give free advice, to talk about anything, to improve people's health, betterment, and everything else.
Yeah.
That's what I'm here to do.
That is what it's all about anyway. Yes, so you still got a couple of minutes in which you can interact with Dr. Raj on this Thursday evening. All you've got to do, 222-8255, also at 612-8255. We specialize in taking sex education where it has never been before, exclusively on Power 102 FM, a station that's reliable, accurate, and of course, effective. Yeah.
You know, my favorite show is Star Trek. One of my favorite shows is Star Trek. To boldly go where no man has gone before.
Oh, so you went to the moon before anyone else?
No, this program, you just said to take to something about where it had never gone before. To boldly go where we have never gone before. Men have never gone before.
No, I like that.
Do you know why Captain Cook pee on the ceiling?
You did?
Yeah, because he wanted to go where no one has gone before.
But he went to the right place. and he did it in the right place too.
All right. Where no one went before.
Because if he had flushed there, somebody would have gotten in Australia or something around there.
I was looking at this show, and this woman said, what does the mafia and the pussy have in common?
The mafia and the pussy
Have in common.
No, that's too...
One slip of the tongue and you're in deep shit.
Well, yes. Hey, I want to put a plug before we sign
Plug
off.
for who?
I want to put a plug for a program I'm doing here.
You're doing a program? They still hiring you here.
I'm doing a program called Divine Inspirational Music.
Divine Inspirational Music.
Yeah,
What times? And what days?
Right from 9 o'clock here tonight.
Right.
And I must say, it was a program, management say, family, we're going inspirational. And I never thought, I did some revising for a week, and I fell in love with the music.
Excellent. I'm happy to hear that.
Beautiful, and if anyone there who is into a different style of music, an inspirational music, I would advise you to listen to Divine Inspirational Music here on Power 102.
Well, you know, I'll be listening going up the road.
It's a beautiful blend of music. It's a new style of music that I ventured into, and I must say, I'm enjoying it immensely. So, when you're going up the road, I'm going to keep you company with a nice, beautiful blend of inspirational music. And I can tell you, it's different to inspirational music that you've been hearing on radio.
Very good. So, folks, we have reached the end of our program. Remember, Sexplosion is on every Thursday from 7 to 9, Fridays from 9 till 11. Tune in tomorrow where we'll continue this discussion.
Yes, we will.
We'll continue feeding your brain with all the right things so that you become a better individual and you're able to learn something from the program.
Definitely.
Good night. Watch out now. Watch out now.
Yes, I put that. Yeah, I saw him on. He cute. He real cute.
God, man.
Real cute.
How could you not love?
Nice.